What I'm looking at across the street, Bob, is a development that appears to have ground to a halt.
I think this one's interesting in that it's a renovated old structure with a new facade on, as opposed to a new construction house. You can kind of see from the courses of brick alongside that it is the old school Chicago brick, and the front porch looks like it's vintage in age.
I see a lot of what they used to call Chicago Common.
There you go. That's
brick,
exactly what it is.
With a color tone that we're seeing some of it here, this yellowish kind of cast to it that nobody does that kind of brick anymore.
Mm-hmm.
You really have to buy it from a brickyard where it's been scrapped somewhere to, if you have to patch or repair.
Mm-hmm.
We're seeing a lot of bust out developments in other parts of the city. Have you seen much evidence of that in Roscoe Village?
What do you mean by bust out?
Stopped in midstream, not proceeding for some period of time.
What I am seeing is if they manage to break ground and do the work, they finish it off. Sales, challenging, but usually I'm seeing that the work actually gets finished. Throughout the neighborhoods, especially like Roscoe Village and the West Lakeview neighborhoods, if they manage to get started, they finish it all the way.
Is challenging a synonym for not happening?
Is challenging a synonym for not happening? Okay, there you go.
Or are we seeing are we seeing sales? I mean, has the market ground to a halt, or is it just slowed?
There are buyers who are looking for a very, very good deal.
A buyer who's looking for too good a deal is not a buyer where I come from. Is that the case, or are these people who will move if the right deal presents?
I believe that we're seeing people who will move if the right deal presents itself, and sometimes that deal is as much as 20% off of the current list price.
And are you seeing any willingness on the part of sellers to do what it takes?
The developers who are willing to do that are able to capture those buyers.
I'm going to stand in the middle of this gorgeous tree-lined canopied street.
Without trying to get run over.
Without trying to get run over?
Mm-hmm.
Bob, you're taking all the fun out of this.
Now, I have had customers who have, we're debating whether people who are searching for really good deals are actual buyers or not. And I've had customers who have entered the marketplace with the goal of getting an extremely good deal. I'm talking a very aggressive price, as much as 20% off. They have gone out, viewed properties, turned in a bunch of contracts, some of which I've considered to be quite ridiculous, and each and every one of them this year has been successful and going under contract.
So your customers were a better gauge of what was possible, and you understood the value, and they just wanted to take a chance.
They're more aggressive even than I was comfortable going, but they were successful, absolutely.
How long a period of time are you willing to work with a buyer? Because you're a successful guy, your time is valuable.
We can measure it in months as opposed to years.
Okay, so at some point you draw a line, and
usually they demonstrate their willingness or ability to move forward on a piece of property. Even if they aren't able to successfully close a transaction or be under contract, the simple act of choosing to write contracts, speak to a lender, verify their finance and assets, those kinds of things demonstrate that they're actual buyers as opposed to just tire kickers.
Yeah. So you're not one of those buy this house or get out of my car kind of guys?
Not that bad.
Classic Chicago backyards.
And classic in the form of, I believe I may have grown up in a backyard just like this.
Did you? In Chicago?
My grandma's backyard would be down near 80th.
Whoop, was that a teenager?
There goes a teenager.
I was wrong on speculating that you see no teenagers here.
There goes another one. No, somebody's grandma. Now both of these houses are interesting. The one here on the left and the one across the street on the right. I have a developer who looks for homes like these. It used to be that you were able to purchase these because they don't have very large apartments in them. This one here will probably be 2 bedrooms with 1 bath on both floors. It'd be even better if there was another building just like it right next door. And I had a developer who, his price point was to purchase two buildings right next door in the $850,000 price range, which would be about $425,000 per lot, and put up a single-family home with about twice as much square footage, and then sell them at about $1,100,000.
Sounds like a good strategy at one point.
Absolutely.
One thing that's always striking, I always look for as an index of whether a neighborhood had ever fallen very far, for corner lots that had been burned out. I mean, you don't really see any of them in Roscoe Village, a sign that there was never much gang activity here. Even in its worst days, there probably was not gang activity.
Well, we were pretty close to the Hamlin Park neighborhood, which didn't enjoy a solid reputation as recently as 10 years ago, but that is a distant memory.
Streets have kept a lot of their tree canopy.
My neighborhood's losing a lot of its tree canopy to the emerald ash borer this year.
Oh, are you really?
Oh, absolutely. The West Lakeview neighborhood is just getting cleaned out this year.
Oh my God. Those are beautiful trees too, if they're old enough, the emerald ashes.
They were, I'd say, about 100 years old. And the last one that survived was the one right in front of my house. And it abruptly died this month.